Hello, TwitchCon. How's everybody doing? Don't be shy. Give us, yeah. This is for charity. Well, not really, but the panel is. So hi, everyone. I'm Ravinia. I'm your host for the next hour. Hello, everybody at home. You're all beautiful. I hope you know it. If you're in the chat right now, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm joined with a bunch of amazing people. We want to talk today about charity and why it's so great to use Twitch to give back to the causes that you love. So whether you're already using Twitch as a way to support all of the things that are important to you, or you have been too afraid to, I hope you walk away from the panel today feeling confident that you can go out there and that you can make a difference on this platform. So let's get to it. I'm going to juggle here. If I drop something, all of you clap, okay? That's the rule. Everybody will clap. So hello, let's meet our panelists, y'all. Starting off with the beautiful Elly's Key right there. So Elly has chosen a path to not only entertain an ever-growing community, but educate them. As the founder of Youthversity Online, the U is important, community, Elly leads conversations about healthy productivity, habits, and development while sharing her student-worker life. Youthversity gathers students and workers from all over the world and all stages of life to a space dedicated to the exchange of resources, dialogue, peer-to-peer support, and development. So Elly, what motivated you to share your personal journey of finding a balance with that online and IRL?
I had to graduate. So I think like kind of a lot of us started, I started streaming during the lockdown. So I was alone in my house and I was actually going to university and it was like the first year. So I just needed company and motivation, and by streaming on Twitch, I discovered that I wasn't the only one. So there were other people in my situation with their studies or also just their works as a remote worker. So that made me notice something, that like together we could have done something and help each other, because peer-to-peer for me, it's always been super, super important. And well, we are growing, we're doing great, and we're doing many, many different things, and we are growing together. And I think that's the best thing of my journey on Twitch and our journey on Twitch.
Literally just a journey of community, which is what Twitch is all about.
Exactly.
That's wonderful. Can we get some applause for that? Yeah, be interactive. Alrighty, now this guy. Underneath the charm, the sarcasm, and the dry humor of Mace the Moose is a kind-hearted soul and mental health advocate working to cultivate an inclusive forest for all. Often speaking openly about their life with ADHD, they understand deeply the importance of creating a space where everyone feels valued and welcome. To quote them, life is about helping and inspiring others so we all can reach our potentials. Yeah. Moose, what inspired you to combine your passion for mental health and video games?
Well, the two have always gone hand in hand for me, and media, particularly video games, have been something it's been a large part of my life, spending time online through forums, gaming, and things like that. And having a bit of a wider reach, a wider net, to include more people in that journey has, it just kind of naturally happened, really. I mean, the two go hand in hand a lot of the time, for many reasons.
I think a lot of us
seem to fit, do you know?
Yeah, a lot of us agree with that, I think.
Just kind of happens. That's all there is to it, really.
It gives us comfort.
I mean, it's just something that's very normal, very natural to me. And I mean, yeah, they're just together.
Yeah. It makes sense. It does. It makes sense to get online and do the thing that's making you feel good about yourself, or feeling seen sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes that's where we find our people, and that's sometimes the majority of people's lives and connections are online, through games or whatever it may be. So
I mean that's why we're all here, right? How many people met somebody new that they never met before at TwitchCon? Just applaud. Give me applause. Bringing us all together. The internet bringing us all together. Beautiful. Yeah. Nukes, how's it going over there?
Lovely. I'm a little too far away from you, but
That's okay. We'll change that later. You may know Nuclear as a wholesome, totally pro gamer, attempting to beat every N64 game in existence. But did you know she is an award-winning charity streamer as well? Amazing. When she isn't vulnerably sharing her own story with type 1 diabetes online, she is working to organize fundraisers and recruit creators for Breakthrough T1D Play. You heard it. Recruiting creators. I'm sure there's some in this room. An organization that has been at the forefront of research and advocacy for the disease for more than a century. Nukes, what is it like bringing your real life into this advocacy that you're doing both online and then as a member of this business, like of this charity? Like, what's it like to do both?
yeah, it's a really unique perspective that I don't know if anyone else really has, where I get to work both as a streamer and fundraising for a charity that is very close to home for me as someone who lives with type 1 diabetes. As a lot of us millennials probably heard growing up, they said, you know, you could do anything. And I said, all right, I'm going to play video games and raise money for a cause that directly affects me. That's anything. And it's literally the dream, and I love it so much.
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. If only we could all be so lucky, right? To love so much what we do and get to stand up for something that we love, you know, which is what we're all trying to do. That's why we're here, right, on this panel. But hi, I'm Ravinia. I play a lot of video games online, and I also like to raise charity and or raise money for charity. I'm really good at talking, guys. I only do it for a living. And, and I love to also lift up indie games because I believe that they are what is going to make the difference in our industry. I think it's going to make better protect jobs, give us the diversity that we want to see in our gaming, and make us able to demand it more. So support indie games, support small businesses, and yeah, that's me. So let's get right into it, y'all. Let's get into it. So the very first question, just right off, that's the elephant in the room, right? Why? Why Twitch? Why is Twitch great for supporting charity events? And Nuclear, I'm going to pass this to you because this is what you do.
Yeah.
So tell me, why is Twitch so great for it?
It's the reach that Twitch has is phenomenal. You know, you all, whether you are a smaller creator or a larger creator, you are able to share your story and impact on everyone who watches your stream. So, like right there, like just imagine, like even if you have 10 viewers watching you, that's a room of 10 people that you're talking to and either getting donations from or advocating for a cause that you really believe in, which is a powerful, powerful impact.
Absolutely, absolutely. So why do you use it, Elly? Why Twitch for you?
Twitch for the reach, I absolutely agree with Nukes. The reach is amazing. Something that I love of using Twitch for charities is that it's not only the amount of money that you get, but like the awareness and the advocacy that you can do. Also, just this is something that I always do when I do charity. Like, if you can donate, that's absolutely okay. But talk about it. Like, I'm talking to you, and you're learning something. And I always have people coming back like, "Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you for telling me. Like, thank you for educating me." And we go back to it. So definitely.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like, you never know who you might impart something on that will then change their view and maybe give them something to donate to in the future when they are capable. Or, like you said, spreading that awareness can be as valuable as dollars in a lot of cases. How about you, Mace?
Yeah. Yeah, basically the reasons that have already been given. Yeah, the reach. And it's not just about raising a whole bunch of money. Like anything is more than nothing. The conversation, awareness, and things like that are also just as important as the funding because it gets people talking. It gets people learning about things. EDS we did for recently. A lot of people had never heard of it. For me, it's something I've grown up around a lot in my life, but we were able to educate some people, spread some awareness, and also raise some funds, which was nice. So, yeah,
That's
mainly
awesome.
just the reach and just the ease of it, I suppose. You can watch on your phone, tablet, computer, whatever. You know, people in and out. The amount of reach is fantastic.
I also think like the interacting with people makes it more exciting. Like to go to a website and like donate $10, like, yeah, it might make you feel great and that's wonderful. But like, you know, to I don't know, make Mace put on a wig and like say something funny at you is hilarious. You get to have a wonderful, fun, positive experience while also doing something for a great cause. And I think that makes it a different experience than just about anywhere else. Like there's a reason why like dunk tanks and pies and faces work for charities at events, but we get to do that from like, you know, our living room. I often have my partner smash a cupcake in my face and everybody loves that except me. I just want to mention that in 2023, Twitch raised over $400 million for charity. That's a lot of money, y'all. So obviously doing this and using Twitch for this way, it works. Like the statistics are right there. So if you're ever feeling like, oh, I don't know, maybe me doing something it won't be able to do as much as somebody else. If you're adding to that dollar amount, you're doing something amazing. And for all the reasons that they said, you know, just do it. Just take the plunge, like truly. So now the next. Oh, I like you guys.
4 out of 10.
I like you guys. So now the big important question, and all the creators in the room, I'm sure you can relate to the fact that you probably have 35 emails currently sitting in your inbox from charities asking you to do work. So how do you choose? So I'm going to pop right to you, because you talked about a charity that you just did that was very important to you. So what made you choose that one?
So raising money for the EDS Society. Again, I'm not living with EDS myself, but my wife has EDS. And most of my friends growing up as well also had EDS. So for me, it was kind of just a fairly normal sort of thing to be around. And so it's just something that needs more awareness, more funding and whatnot. And I was invited to be part of a larger team. And yeah, that was it. That's all I needed.
Yeah. I mean, that's great.
It.
It's literally part of your everyday life because your partner has the exact same, is a part of that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Elly, how about you? How do you choose a charity?
I usually choose charities based on, well, what matters for me, but what matters for the community. So I usually try to do 2 or 3 charities every year. And I ask to my community, what do you, like, is there a, let's call it problem that needs some support that maybe you want to talk about, that they can present me the charity and we can analyze and we can think. I also like to always be aware of what is going on in the world. So if I can help in my small part, I'm gonna do it. And then, as Moose said, groups. If I have friends that maybe are organizing a group charity, I jump in because it's really, really good sharing with others. So
being on a stream team and having like that extra
Exactly.
support and everything to lift it up all together. It can be really helpful to feel not so alone. Sometimes doing a charity event can be a lot of work, creating all the graphics, coming up with incentives, so you don't have to do it alone. Like Tiltify even has teams that you can make and all raise money together, which I think is also a really great way to go after it, especially if you're a little anxious about what to do or maybe you haven't learned all the technical side, you know? So, I mean, obviously we know how you choose a charity.
Might
but
be employed by one.
Yeah.
But like that does go off. It's obviously something that's very close to me. It's something I'm passionate about. So I think just finding something that you're passionate about and can talk about well on stream makes a huge difference. There's a big difference when you're talking about a charity just saying, it's a great cause, please donate, to I've lived with type 1 diabetes my whole life. It affects me 24/7 every single day. Please help us find a cure. And giving statistics because you have that knowledge about the cause that you're talking about really makes a huge difference in pushing for donations.
Agreed. And I think the theme here is there's a lot of great organizations. You're gonna find a million that you want to support and you think that they're doing great work. Narrowing it down and sometimes not being afraid to say no to one because there's another one that fits you better is okay. Like you can always, I mean, I often have to do hey, I just did a charity event. I can't do another one right now. But I love your organization. I'd love to work with you in a different way or do it in the future. And that's okay. It's okay to also go local. That's a big thing for me. If you aren't sure of who you want to work with, look at your local community and be like, you know what? Our animal rescue could really use some help right now. And y'all, here are the dogs. like that we need to help, or here is my LGBTQIA community. They're trying to build a thing or put on a pride event. I want to raise money specifically for them, because then you as the creator get to go to that event and share that with your community, and that like can be so powerful as well. So yeah, don't be afraid to like help out smaller charities as well. So we've come up with a charity. We know why we're doing it. We know what we're doing it. But how do we make donors feel safe and excited to donate? I'm going to go straight to the professional on this one, I think, Nuke. So how do we make people feel safe to donate?
You want to know what you're talking about. You want to know what the charity is. Do the research. It will go a long way. Pick a charity that has a really good charity rating. There's websites that will show you like how the charity spends their money. Being able to talk about, hey, for me, Breakthrough T1D, they have an amazing charity rating, which encourages donors to donate because they know that the money that they're donating is going to go for research for type 1 diabetes, and they know that it's going to actually do what they are donating for. So having that knowledge in your back pocket and just doing a little bit of research beforehand goes a long way.
Absolutely. Those statistics make a big difference. They really do. We'll go right down the line. Elly, how do you make your chat feel excited and safe to donate?
Well, I don't have all the experience of nukes, but I think that my go-to is like using websites that are trusted. So my go-to is Tiltify. If not Tiltify, the Twitch tool, the integration that was so good. Like when I started on Twitch, there wasn't the integration, and now there is, and it's super easy to use. Being sure that that the money are going like where they should be, and they always like. It's better not be yourself collecting the money, because then better avoid, because
Do not do that.
No,
Don't do
Please
that.
not do that.
Don't do
You're gonna
that.
Get yourself in lots of trouble. There's so many great ways to, Tiltify, as we said.
trusted
Fantastic
tools.
tool. Yeah.
It's the go-to.
Don't ever touch the money. Don't ever touch the money. No one will ever trust you ever again. Doesn't matter if you are meticulous. Someone's going to. Yeah, don't do that. How about you, Moose?
Just agreeing with the points made. Yeah, it's important that you're comfortable doing it too, talking about it and believing in it, and having a cause closer to home or to your heart is a big, is a big motivator to make everyone else feel relaxed and excited about it too, hopefully. A safe platform, again, don't touch the money. Tiltify, again, is a great way because they're the middle moose, if you will. And so, people can do it anonymously. They know their data's being handled, acceptably. It's all logged. Things like that are such great tools. I think it's important, safety, financially, GDPR, all that kind of stuff. I think that's helped me feel a bit more comfortable donating to causes if I know it's through like a tool like Tiltify or perhaps Just Giving or something else. Doing your research on the charities and things. If it's a smaller non-profit or something, maybe a lot of people haven't heard of it. Do your research, know about it, and just put some people at ease and just stay away from anything you're not sure about, I think is...
make sure they're certified and everything, which is what, Twitch and Tiltify do. They make sure they have the right paperwork and everything. They are truly a charity. The money is truly going someplace, and I think that's important. I also just want to say, just stop for a second and think what makes me want to donate to something. What gets me excited? What makes me want to show up for a streamer's charity event? And then do that. None of us need to be gatekeeping tools and things in order to be raising money for charity. Like that's unnecessary. If you see one of your streamer friends do something and their community goes crazy for it, do it. Do it too. And just reach out and be like, hey, I think I'm going to do that because my community would really like it. And then they can probably give you some tools and stuff too. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to do those things. I want to mention some fun statistics because I like statistics. I hear a lot of people always tell me like, oh, I'm just a small streamer. I'm just a little tiny fish in the pond. Well, Twitch has over 240 million monthly active users. That means people who at least log in and watch 30 minutes of stream twice a month. So they're pretty active on the community, in the communities. Less than 4% of that 240 million are active streamers. So if you think, oh, everyone's a streamer and all the streamers are always doing things, Less than 4% are active streamers. That's a whole lot of people that did not see your friend's charity stream, that didn't see your other streamer friend's charity stream. And you might be the one that they want to give to because they are the person that has something going on that they feel very closely to. And they might not have clicked on the one for this big charity or this other big charity, but they might say, oh, wait, you're doing something for cats? I love cats, you know? So just don't be afraid. Don't ever feel like you are not good enough to be taking up space, because you are. So make sure that you do. Okay. So we've gone through. We know what we're doing now. We know the fun technical things, the charity that we want to do, but then we've all been there. If you've ever done a charity stream, there's that impact of your like first couple of big community members that come in and they're like, yeah, it donates right in the beginning, woohoo, woohoo, and then it tanks, and then you're streaming for hours and maybe there's no donation. So how do you keep the momentum going while live? So I'm going to pass this one straight to our friend Moosey here. How do you keep it up? How do you get out of the valley once donations stop?
Spite, I think, is the main. That's all that fuels me. Is pretty much. I'm not even sure. To be honest, like I treat charity streams like any other stream, so to speak. Obviously, you have more focus on the cause that you're trying to promote awareness for and get donations, but I think it's important to enjoy yourself. So while we might have like breaks for quiz questions about EDS or something, for example, to educate and get some more interaction, you just kind of keep doing your thing. It's a bit different if you've planned like a whole event where you have like timed segments and things, but I've not really done that myself. So, I mean, we just keep streaming. I mean, I don't really have anything useful, I think, an actual answer for
Besides
that.
spite, just spite.
Just be yourself, enjoy yourself, have a crisis. And just carry on. But yeah, I think the biggest thing to do is not to expect things and just see where it goes, and just enjoy yourself.
Yeah, know that whatever you're doing, whether you hit all your goals or you don't hit all your goals, if you blow the cap off, that's amazing. And if you don't, the charity's still going to have more money than they had yesterday. And that's amazing. Yeah, we'll go right down the line.
Yeah, I think what Moose said. The majority of the times that you organize a charity stream, if you get in contact with the charity, they usually give you data and videos and materials that you can actually share. So that's always good. Also to take a break, maybe from the game. So it's normal that donation slows down because it's absolutely normal. Sometimes they go up again. And using these little moments in bringing awareness and showing the materials. It's also like you show the video. It's 3 minutes of break for you from your streaming. So that's also good. So this is.
I love a good deal. I don't know about you all, but when something's on sale, I'm like, heck yeah, now I can buy that. So what I'll do sometimes on stream, if I see the donations are kind of slowing down, if I have an incentive priced at like, okay, $20, I'll draw you a picture. Hey, flash deal, $10, I'll draw you a picture. Then people are gonna, that becomes suddenly more affordable. You're still getting donations to the charity, and people are gonna be more willing to spend that money or maybe do a second donation. So that, and combined with live deals, coming up with deals right on the spot. Maybe your community members are talking about, I don't know, having you wear a leprechaun costume for some reason. There's like a leprechaun in the game.
That was oddly specific.
Yeah, I don't ask. But you can really play. It's really great to play on things that maybe your community is talking about and feed into that. I think those two, making discounts on your incentives throughout the stream and coming up with deals on the spot based on what your community is talking about, can be huge power plays when you're trying to push the momentum forward.
I love to sacrifice my loved ones sometimes, in the sense that I make them do something. So my partner will run in on camera a lot and then harass my chat into unlocking milestones, which is great. And I love that. But if he does it too much, then I punish him. And then it's like, oh, Well, y'all, I bet you that, Chin would play a horror game if you got to this number, in the next 20 minutes and putting a timer on it, like you said, putting a timer on it. Oh, man. Oh, that worked so well. Just a couple weeks ago, we did a charity thing for Boston gamers. They're doing this amazing event in Boston to raise support for LGBTQIA creators and developers and gaming, and it's amazing. I'm so excited about it. And that exact thing happened. He was harassing me, and I was like, all right, well, if we get to this number, then we can do this. And so I've got to say it works. It really does. Yeah. Put those timers on things. Alrighty, friends. We've all seen Bean Boozled. So many people in this room, I'm sure, have eaten a rotten egg jelly bean. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. I want to know, what are some unique incentives that you've had success with that aren't maybe some of the typical ones that we hear? So not drawing on our arms, not eating a rotten egg jelly bean. What's something different that you've done that you found your community really, really loves? And you are squirming. You are actually squirming in your seat, and your community and friends are laughing in the front row. So I'm starting off with Moosey here.
No idea. I'll just say goth mommy moose is something that I didn't know what that meant at the time. But now I have to figure it out. I'm no stranger to you'll see me in a maid outfit sometimes, just whatever, like we don't care. We just like having fun. But Goth Mommy Moose was a stretch goal for some things because, we needed another one. And I thought, we'll just make something silly because, whatever. We won't, and we did. And so it's not a problem, but yeah. Jaffa cakes instead of Bean Boozled is another one because they're not for me. They're for the streets.
The hate.
But yeah.
You might get jumped outside by some people talking bad about Jaffa Cake.
Yeah, just fun things. There's many characters in the Moose cinematic universe. Goth Mommy Moose will be joining them soon. I don't know what that looks like yet, but yeah, we just like doing stuff with dress up or art stuff or things I've never done before, and just sometimes some fun stuff like that.
Yeah, doing like costumes and things that you're promising for the future, which also helps you make a fun stream for the future. That you'll do a game that you've never played before or dress in a costume that you've never worn before.
You don't already own, yeah.
Nukes, how about you? What are some unique things that you've used with your charity in order to make some donations come rolling in?
So one time I was playing this game and there was a leprechaun and no. No, a big thing that my community knows is I love spaghetti. Love spaghetti. It's my favorite food. And I came up with an incentive that if we hit a certain milestone, I would fill up a kiddie pool full of spaghetti, and I would eat spaghetti in the kiddie pool, and we would just have a stream like that. So lo and behold, a month later, I was cooking box of spaghetti. You don't know how much spaghetti it takes to fill a kiddie pool, by the way. And I filled up that sucker and I sat in the kiddie pool. Well, my cat looked at me like, what in the world are you doing? So just, again, really leaning on what, that's something that for me, spaghetti is a big thing. People know that I love it. Leaning in on that and making that an incentive is really, really great for your community.
I was just talking about this exact thing with someone in the room and about how I do not particularly like Shrek. I know you can get me after the panel. It's just not my favorite. I don't get why it's got a musical, guys. I don't get it. My community loves me to add incentives to watch Shrek films or listen to the Shrek soundtrack. So sometimes they'll come at me and be like, "Hey, Ravi, we'll get it $300 higher if you'll watch Shrek 2 in the Discord." But then they like to abandon me and make me watch it by myself. And then they'll just pop in to be like, "What part are you at?" And then they'll be in general chat harassing me but leaving me alone to watch Shrek alone. So, yeah, pick a movie you don't like. They'll love that. What about you?
Oh, I'm going on something like much smaller and easy. I have one incentives that is like wear a hat. It's a cute hat. It's a like a rabbit hat with the inflatable ears. So every time that you press the post, and the reason why my chat loves it is that it's like, okay, you donate $5 or euros, and I wear it for 15 minutes, and then 30 and 1 hour because I completely forget that I have it on my head. So, and they love it, and they start counting like how much time can pass with me still having this hat on without noticing. So this is their favorite one, and it's fast because it's a small donation for something that makes them laugh, and
Fun and free.
fun and free.
Fun and free. It's
Exactly.
almost like I have a slide for that. Fun and free is your bestie. Coming up with things that are fun that you can do, that you can create, that don't cost you money. Because let's be honest, we're all broke. Like, come on, we're streamers. We don't even make minimum wage, most of us, doing what we do. So I love to come up with incentives that my community will find that are really, really fun and that cost me no money. And I love to manipulate them emotionally. I mean, who said that? That wasn't me. So I love to raise money for Adoption First Animal Rescue, which is an animal rescue that I foster dogs through. And so I had a lovely bunch of photos of cute animals that were currently in the rescue, but not available for adoption yet, because they were too young or in foster or medical cases. And so I put their names up on these little things and was like, when we hit these incentives, I'll show you the picture. I gave a bunch of neurodivergent people a dog called Mama Anxiety. When I tell you, they unlocked that so fast, as you can see from the shock on my face, that I hadn't even shown them all the rest of the animals. They hadn't even seen them yet. So sometimes getting creative like that, and so the very first thing I'll ask myself is, what can I do that will be really, really fun, that they're going to love, that's free? That's free. So definitely think of that. And when you are working with local charities and stuff too, see if you can make some content or go take some pictures there. I just reached out and was like, hey, can I come down to the rescue and take some pictures? And they were like, absolutely. Like that charity is going to want to help you as well. So don't be afraid to ask for that help and make incentives with that organization as well. So yeah. Aw, y'all are so smart. I'm feeling inspired. I want to do a new charity event now.
Ravi, I find like another great free tool is making like posters and things that you can get, your community involved in.
Oh.
Like either by hand, writing their name on like a paper chain or a poster you're making, or Canva, something like that. The free tier. Paint, doesn't matter. Draw a little picture, write their Twitch handle on a poster if they want to be. Jazz up how you want to do it. It's just another fun way. I like to make posters for each event, and then I post them in the Discord. Which people seem to like. And again,
You can go a step further in just MS Paint
yeah.
too. If you really like, I can't even buy a poster board right now
Yep.
or art supplies. MS Paint, we all got it.
Mm-hmm.
It always looks goofy. People love it.
Yeah. And if you can't draw, it's honestly better.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love all those ideas. Those are great. All right. So we're kind of getting close to our Q&A. So I want y'all to start thinking about some questions that you might want to ask us, if you have any, while we're getting through our last question here, which I think is the most important one here. Like, why is it so important to be doing this, I think, with our platforms? Why does using your platform for charity feel important to you? I'm going to start right down the end of the line there, Nukes. Let us know.
As I said earlier, like, no matter what size you are talking to an audience of people, whether it's 10 viewers, 100 viewers, that is still more people that you can teach about a cause or teach about what something is. For me, type 1 diabetes is a condition that is super, super misunderstood. So being able to talk about it, and even if my viewers aren't donating, they're still learning about what it means to have type 1 diabetes. And I've had them reach out to me and tell me that they really appreciate getting to learn and understand better because they didn't previously. So knowing that I can make that impact, even if I'm not raising money, means so much to me.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. How about you, Elly?
I think the principle, like the main reason why I use my platform to do charity is because I always get a really good feedback, but from my community itself. And it's like both the thank you for organizing this, or thank you for telling me, but also like thank you for making me part of this, because without the community and without the viewers and the charity wouldn't go. So I always like the word empowerment, and I think that's the main reason why I do a charity stream, because it's really a great and easy most of the times way to empower people, and it gives great result, and it's always really good.
Yeah, just making everybody feel good. I mean, everybody feels good when they get to help something, put some good back into our world, right? Musi?
I mean, yeah, you don't have to use your platform for these things, but I think we all choose to because, you know, we care deeply about the cause. And yeah, $1 is better than $0. And yeah, sometimes things don't go as planned, but awareness is just as important sometimes. I've raised money offline before I was streaming for many different charities, normally mental health stuff. And it could, yeah. I mean, sitting at my desk is easier than running up Mount Snowdon. So, yeah, you know, yeah. But, so, yeah, it's something that just kind of fell into my content naturally. And, yeah, it just kind of, it's what I wanted to do. It's part of me, it's helping others. That's a big part of me and my personality. So, yeah, being able to raise money for mental health or for you know, the big C, or maybe some other chronic illnesses and some other things it's always been important to me. So, but it's just special to me. I think that's the main thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's part of it too, just to feel it's empowering, like you said, to feel like you have a space to be able to do something like that. I have a little bonus question. I'm the host. I can do what I want. I want to ask y'all, what's a moment that you had in a charity event, or something that you did, or something that someone in your community did that really resonated with you or really touched you that you'll never forget? And I'll give the first one. I'm going to give the first one, so I'll give you a second to think, because I'm just throwing this at them. Like I said, I do a charity for a small dog rescue, like in my town, and they do not get a lot of donations. And so my community went crazy and like raised $3,000 for them. That's like a ton of money to a local dog rescue. They could not believe that people on the internet, especially people from different countries, because I have a lot of Europeans in my community, would want to donate to dogs in another country. They were like, what? And they gave us a plaque. Oh my gosh. There's a plaque now on one of the kennels, because we raised more money as like a community on Twitch than even like being a business in town sponsoring them like normally donates. So now we have a Ravinia Gaming family plaque on one of the dog kennels. And like every time I walk in there and see it, like I take a picture and I'm like, this is the dog that's in the kennel right now. And that was just, I mean, I don't think it gets better than that, right? Like that's my best streaming moment, the best thing that's ever happened, you know, because of Twitch. And that's just like amazing. So I'm going to pass it down to Nukes now before I cry.
I love that so much. Yeah, that's so sweet. I can't think of a specific moment, because I think just in general, getting to do what I do and seeing people so passionate about, because again, I get to be on both sides as both someone who works for the charity and someone who is a streamer and streams. So I get to cry when I have a successful fundraising stream, because I'm so emotional that people are donating money to a cause that impacts me directly. And then I also get to cry when I get to see other streamers fundraising and being passionate about a cause that is so important to me. And I think just it's really beautiful getting to do that. And I'm like,
It's
I
doubly
can't
rewarding.
even find the words right now, because of just, it's such a big impact on me.
I mean, doubly rewarding. You're just getting it
Yeah.
from both directions. Yeah. Elly, how about you?
This is such a difficult question. I had so many good moments that I can't actually like stop on only one. But I think one of the best moments, and it's like always the best, is at the end of the charity, because I usually do 1 week. I don't usually do one only stream, but it's a week or 1 month. and it's always like reaching the end of that period that we gave ourselves to raise money, and actually taking the time to look back and what happened. So watching the VODs or watching the clips and watching together what we did from raising 100 or to raising 1,000. And it's every time, like no matters how much, but it's always incredibly rewarding to go back and saying thank you and actually acknowledge the good that we did. That's one of the best moments every freaking time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How about you, Musi?
What was the question again?
It's on a screen in front of you. That's called a cheat sheet. And it's right.
but the question that's not on there.
Oh,
No, seriously,
sorry.
I'm not
Oh, my gosh.
I was like,
Thank you. Thank you. What is a moment that you had doing a charity event that really stuck out to you that was very humbling or emotional?
that happens a lot. There's so many. There's seriously so many. But one that sticks out recently would be, again, during our EDS Society stuff. We've got some people in the community that have sort of mobile carers that come in to administer aid because they're not mobile enough and, or, have other challenges. A few of them living with EDS. And one of their nurses was there, and we were doing some like trivia about it. So I had some multiple choice questions just to get a bit of conversation, some education going. And they were overhearing a bunch of that during their session. And the community member after that came back and said, wow, that's really cool. They've been asking me a bunch of questions about EDS, what type I have, how I can better support them. And they're going to go away and research how to care better for their other clients or patients who may also be suffering with, various types or, whatever type of EDS or maybe some other more invisible chronic illnesses and stuff. And that's fantastic. Like, that's huge. That's
Literally changed the life of not just somebody that you stream for, but someone who overheard.
You never even think about anything like that happening. It's wild.
That's absolutely
there's been
amazing.
Too many, but that's a real big one for me.
Yeah, that's amazing. Wow. Yeah. All right, we're gonna do a little Q&A, y'all. Oh, I forgot I have a quote. I'm sorry. Yeah, I really love this quote, and I think that it's important, and I think it's something like what Mace has. You have it on their About Me page. They have like some wonderful quotes about community and taking care of each other. And so Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, to know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived, this is to have succeeded. And again, I think the theme is just never think that you can't do good for someone else, even if your pockets only have $5. You have $5. You have air in your lungs, you have a voice to speak out. You never know how you're going to change somebody's life just because you took the time to try. So just don't be afraid to do those things. Okay, so now we're going to get into a Q&A. I just asked these, please, if you can raise your hand, and a member of Twitch staff is going to come over and hand you a microphone. I do just ask that you ask us questions and respect the time of everybody here and everybody online who's watching this right now. And if you have stories for us, we would love to hear them in the hall after the panel. But if you have a question, if you can raise your hand so Twitch staff can come over and give you a microphone. Oh, streamers all being shy. There we go.
Thanks. So hi everyone, I'm Twarinka and I'm streamer from Ukraine. And actually we have a community of 147 Ukrainian streamers and we run charity marathons. We raise funds for Ukrainian army because, as you know, we are at war right now. But we're having one issue lately. Like our first marathon, we had like 140 streamers streaming. Second marathon, 100. Third marathon, 70. We keep losing streamers. What would you recommend to do to still have a lot of streamers joining it?
I think this is something I really have a lot of knowledge on. I will say right now, just in general, in streaming, we have seen a downward shift of less people fundraising right now. I think as a whole, globally, we're seeing a lot of economic struggles. So sometimes us full-time streamers, I can say, like, it's harder for us to stream sometimes. So that's part of it. And I think just accepting that, hey, that's the trend right now, unfortunately. That's something to keep in mind. We have found with Breakthrough T1D kind of like really keying into certain type of communities, specific events. Like we will work with Magic the Gathering specific creators and really reaching out to that. So even if they don't have a direct connection to the charity itself, they'll be, hey, I have a connection to Magic the Gathering, and this is a fundraiser for like with other Magic the Gathering creators. Cool. We do a speed running event where people do speed runs where you play games really fast. Again, we get a lot of creators who maybe don't have a connection to the cause directly, but they're happy to do a speed run and help the charity out because that's what they're passionate about. So I think really leaning into specific communities and kind of theming a fundraiser around that can be a helpful way.
I also want to just say sometimes exactly kind of what Nukes is saying, maybe limit your slots. Maybe do a couple smaller ones instead of big, huge marathons with 150 people, because as a creator, sometimes you'll feel kind of lost in that, or you'll feel like there's so much going on. Instead, be like, hey, we're asking 20 Minecraft streamers to stream in the month of whatever month, and we want to challenge you to do this. Come up with something specific like that, and then you might get some new creators that are really excited to do it, who will jump to do it and do something really big because it's so specifically their niche. So I do think that sometimes even having those kind of like limits can get people excited to get involved.
If you already have creator, like maybe you have a big creator that you work with currently or some, like leaning in on them too, to maybe if they're very passionate about the cause, to get people within their community or their niche, that's another great way. And they can kind of be the power that pushes a smaller charity event, like Ravi was saying.
But you're not alone. You're not alone. All charities are going through this right now. The world is in an economic place where people are struggling, and it's harder. I know as a creator myself, it's harder for me to ask my community to do as much as I typically would because they don't have it. That's just the truth. So just know you're not alone in that at all. It's not specifically because of your cause. It's nothing like that. It's the world, unfortunately.
I also feel like maybe limiting the slots might be a good idea, because that way, it's only a set amount of people can do it, and then you can rotate in fresher, people who haven't just come off the back of it again, and kind of get that kind. And then people from the first cycle might jump in the next. So that might be a good way to do it. But yeah, it's always hard to maintain momentum with that, because once people have done it once or twice, still something very special to them, but it's just, everything moves so fast. It's really hard to have anything be consistently sort of hit those numbers, whether it's people participating or funds or whatever it may be.
And community fatigue.
Yeah, no, for sure.
If you can't do a charity, like I can't do a charity one month and do another one the next month, like unless it's very casual. Like their community just gets fatigued, So trying to find those new people by going after those different groups. I think I think we kind of unanimously agree that. Hope that helps. Next question. Hi, chat.
Hello.
Do you have a specific way you prefer to do a charity? Meaning, do you prefer to solo stream? Do you prefer to co-stream? Do you prefer a gaming, an IRL, a Lego stream? And do you prefer a day, a week, a month, a weekend? What is your preference in that?
I have one preference that I'll say, and again, I think that sometimes the weeks do really work well for people. I am the opposite. I'm a hype it up, get people excited, throw my life into it for one day only. Y'all have this much time to unlock this, and I personally find that that's really successful. But I do think I'm more of a solo streamer because I'm real chatty, and I'm always afraid I'm talking over people. But I think if you schedule a time that hey, if you can, if you do donations where you're going to extend the clock, if we get to 12 hours for the last 4, my other friend is going to jump in, and when maybe someone that they really love, my community loves that. They'll be like, oh, so we get more of you and you're going to do something special with so-and-so. That's amazing. So I think it's just kind of feeling out what your community likes and going from there. How about you guys?
Yeah, my favorite way of doing charity is actually like with collaboration. I don't mean like being in stream together, but in being like raising funds together. The latest that I did was with the Women Guild, and it's amazing because you have your own goals, but then you have the group goals, and then you have the events goals. So you have more things to reach, and it's really motivating. And you see other creators, and you can chat with them, and you can organize collab inside the group. And for example, opposite to Revi, I'm more like giving time because I know that I have a chat. I do co-working usually, so I know that I have people that some days can be there, but some days they are in office. So if I do only one day, and they can be there, and I really like to give everyone the opportunity to join. So 1 week for me is the best, or 1 month. I usually go a little bit longer.
I love dragging other people into it, especially now. Now with Stream Together, it's way easier too because you get the shared chat. Everyone has all the information in one spot, and you just have a bigger reach. So if you're able to, have someone else to stream together with, that can be, double the impact there because you're not just catering to your own audience, but this other person's audience or multiple people's audience. So that can be a really great tool too for just, again, more outreach, more donations.
Absolutely. Next question.
So speaking of how you love to just do one day and hype everyone up, how do you advertise and like prepare your community for your charity streams?
Well, emotional manipulation. We're kind of back to that. I only do it for charity, guys. Okay. But I will kind of hint towards things maybe that are coming, start like dropping incentives also to see what they're excited about, because sometimes I'll be like, oh, so y'all are really excited about this one idea. Okay, I'm going to do more of that then. It can also let you know where you want to place the incentives, maybe on your goals, to be like, okay, they're not super pumped about this, so I'll put that a little lower, but this thing they're really pumped about. So, okay, we'll make that a little bit of a higher goal. So I think like first off, making sure they know what's happening. So make sure that you are posting about it a lot the couple days before. I feel like people post a lot like maybe the month before or week before. Nobody has a good memory. They will not remember tomorrow that you said you have a charity event. So you need to be kind of relentless with it so that they remember like, oh yeah, and on Saturday, don't forget, I have a charity event. I also love to tell people that are rating in the week of. If you raid me the week I'm doing a charity, I'm sorry, I'm going to grab your community. I'm going to be like, hi, everybody. We're doing this great charity stream on Saturday, to try and encourage them to come in. And don't be afraid to ask your streamer friends, like, oh my God, never ask people to raid you. But the close friends that you have that you know love you and that are part of your community and that love that kind of and love to do that stuff, remind them, hey, on Saturday I have a charity stream. If you could raid me, that'd be cool. And then do the same for your friends. Right. Do y'all have anything?
There's a marketing statistic that I love to refer to all the time. And for things like online ads, it takes an average of 7 views for someone to consider buying the item. So keep that in mind now we're not buying an item here, but people, as Ravi said, are forgetful. So you need to be, the week up to that stream, be posting and talking about it, reminding your community on Discord, socials, on stream, constantly. Keep in mind that your viewers are coming in and out of your stream the whole time. So you talked about it 15 minutes ago. People who are now in your stream maybe didn't hear it. So I try to just get the word out there as much as possible to make sure that my viewers hear that magical number of 7 times that this is happening and they're prepped and ready to go.
And if you do stuff across multiple platforms, make sure you're posting it everywhere. Even if you're only streaming it on Twitch, there's no reason your community on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, wherever you are, can't know that that's happening. Yeah. Okay. Next question, please, lovely audience.
How do you make the decision for what to set the goal at when you're deciding? Like, I'm sure it maybe depends on the size of your community and the size of the charity and things like that, but, kind of how do you know what to set it as?
I don't. It's one of the hardest things to do, because do you aim for the stars and set some like Mahusa? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but yeah, I mean, I think for me personally, setting the bar low and just comfortable is the way that works for me. And then maybe, hitting that and having to panic, make up some stretch goals afterwards. Yeah, but it really depends. There's no right or wrong way to do it. And for your first time, or getting into it, yeah, just see what works for you. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Like, doing it in the first place is huge, because it wouldn't have happened otherwise. So yeah, just whatever's comfortable with you. It's such a difficult question to answer for me, but
You can always raise your fundraising goal. So I think bouncing off that, aim for something realistic. You don't want to feel like, oh man, I didn't hit my goal. If it's your first time, aim a little lower, and you can always up it when your community comes and surprises you with a big donation.
Yeah, I personally, I always count how long the charity fundraising is going to be, because if I do like 3 hours, one only stream, I don't expect to raise like 800. Then if it happens, hey, perfect. But if I know that I'm going to do 1 month, maybe I'm going for 500 or a little bit more. I think it's important. Of course, you can't always know 100%, but it's important to know your community. So I, for example, know that I have some workers, but the majority of my community is students. So of course, they funding or not. So I don't push, and that's why I always highlight that talking is super important. Like, please, I actually most of the times care more about them talking about it than donating, actually. And there was something else that I wanted to say, but I'm forgetful. So that's it.
I will say, if your charity that you're working with has something that can be paid for at a certain number, sometimes that can be a good goal or a great stretch goal. So for that charity that stream that I mentioned and I showed the slide for Adoption First, my stretch goal was for a weird number, but it was to cover this one dog's final heartworm treatment. So we had a goal to get to $2,000, but that number was quantified, and like, this is how many animals are going to get helped because of that. And then it was like, okay, now we're going to try to get to $2,319, and it's because $319 will finish this dog's heartworm treatment. So giving like an actual number, almost all charities, at least that I've seen and worked with, like, they have some sort of breakdown of like, when you donate this much money, that pays for this. When you donate this much money, that pays for this. So add up those things and be like, well, I would love to say that we, I'll just use the animals again, like that we paid for 20 cats to be spayed or neutered. And if that's, $20 a cat, multiply that and make that your first goal. I think that looking at it that way sometimes, instead of just looking at like your average viewer, is the better way to do it. So I would try that.
There's nothing wrong with just setting your goal at $50.
Yeah, also that.
Keep it chill, keep it comfortable, low pressure on you, your community. And even if you raise $5, that's 5 more than nothing. So that's, and you've had some conversation about it. It's very daunting, but
have stretch
cozy.
goals set up at least to $500.
Exactly.
Because you never know who's going to come in.
Yeah, what I remember that I wanted to say was like, you can set the bar low, but know that your community can always surprise you. So be ready with stretch goals. So you're there and you're like, hey, thank you for reaching like 100, but I am ready. You're not going to catch me off guard. Yeah. Here's the next one. So let's do that, because it's going to be like hyping them up.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to be our time. However, I want to be able to tell y'all where we can find all of our lovely panelists here, starting down at the end. Tell the people how to find you.
I'm Nuclear, NUKKULER, on everything: Discord, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky. You can find me anywhere. Please reach out to me. I love talking about charity, especially if you maybe have a connection with type 1 diabetes. I would love to work with you. But I'm also just happy to help in general, because I just want to make a difference in the world. So please don't hesitate to reach out.
I'm Elly. I go by ellyskey everywhere, so you can find me there. If you have any charity streams in plan and you'd like to collab, hey, hit me up. I will love that. And well, if you need company during your work, you find me on Twitch every day working, because that's what I do. So
crisis or no crisis, mace the moose on most platforms. I forget to post a lot, but I stream a few days a week to more. Yeah, just mace that moose. That's me.
And maybe goth mommy moose.
Maybe goth mommy moose.
If you're lucky. And I'm Ravinia. Everybody calls me Ravi, like ravioli. I do stuff everywhere, and I'm not Ravinia everywhere. And if I find the person who took it on the other socials, they're not going to have a good day. So Ravinia on Twitch and Instagram, and then on YouTube, Ravinia Gaming. I do a lot of indie gaming, like I said, support indie games, and do a lot of charity. And go break some eggs, kids. Thank you so much for coming.